Hey, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Chana, and if this is your first time here, welcome. How you doing? I make videos each week about Judaism, Jewish life, spirituality, conversions to Judaism, and homeschooling. I have five daughters. I have 4 daughters and 1 son, Baruch Hashem. My oldest is 9 and my youngest is 3.5 months. And this video is a collaboration video with Chana at Jar of Fireflies and Sarah at Evan's Homeschool Adventure. And we're all sharing with you about the structure of our day, how we structure our homeschool. So I'll give you guys some different perspectives out there. I hope that you check out their videos. And if you're coming to my channel from their videos, what's up? Welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And I hope that I can be of some kind of service and give you some kind of value from my channel. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and fold some laundry and just chill with me and let's chit chat a little bit about how I structure our homeschool. So my structure of homeschooling as of the date of this video is going to look different than the structure of my homeschool in 6 months from now, in a year from now, 1 year ago. I have little kids and they grow and they change and life changes and life happens, and therefore the structure of our homeschool day has to flow along with it. So I have a 3.5-month-old baby, which means I'm 3.5 months postpartum. So the last few months, to say the least, has been quite challenging. I've just been very overwhelmed kind of keeping everything together, and as much self-care as I do, even self-care became a chore. It became something else to do, and there was a lot of tears. I was overwhelmed and all these feelings that I've been, and kind of like I can't keep it together. I can't do this. Like that phrase was in my head. I can't do this. So that tells me that there needs to be some kind of reorganization in what we're doing in some way. Homeschooling is challenging. Homeschooling has its overwhelm to it, right? But it's not meant to completely knock you down. And that is what was happening to me. I was completely knocked out, and that's not what it's meant to be, which kind of told me that I need to kind of revamp everything. So I let go of a lot. I let go of all structure. I let go of curriculum and what we are meant to be learning, what we're meant to be doing, timing of things. I let go of so much. I had a weekly checklist that I would use and that kept me organized, but I did not, I threw that out. I haven't seen a checklist in quite a bit of time because it was just becoming a challenge. It was becoming a source of tears and overwhelm. So I threw all of that out and I said, you know what? I need to unschool. So thank God there is such a thing as unschooling because I guess that would be, if you could define our homeschool right now and our structure of our homeschool, I would say it's pretty much unschooling. I still have a morning basket on our table, but it's completely downsized. Like, it's just a bunch of workbooks and they come out. I try to take them out a few times a week. I don't have any schedule or structure to it or rhyme or reason, not with a little baby, not with the overwhelm that I've been feeling and everything that I have to do. So I told myself, for my postpartum mental health, I need to take a step back and I need to let it go and trust the process, as they say. Trust the process of learning. So right now I'm in that stage of trusting the process of learning and letting learning happen as it happens. So that's kind of my why. I really wanted to get into my why of my structure, why I have a lack of structure, because I think that's important to understand the life circumstances and why I am choosing to have zero structure. We literally wake up with nothing to do, nowhere to go. The entire world is in front of us. And it's funny because we have really everything to do. We have everything and nothing at the same time. But, you know, it's hard to trust the process because I want to feel like I'm doing something. I want to know that they're learning. I want to be able to measure their learning and see that something is happening. But I did it. I let go of all structure. I let go of all curricula. You have a hard time saying curriculums. Curricula. Okay. But I let it go. And it was hard. But it has been fascinating to watch the process. And you can only really see it over time, I think. Like if I said in the first week of unschooling and letting go of all structure, I would say I don't see this. But now that it's been a couple months, it's been fascinating to watch the learning that's happening in my house. I'll give you one example of something that happened in the past couple weeks. I think that you might have your own examples of this for your own home. But I'll share this with you, is that one week I had a particularly hard week. So I didn't learn the Parsha with them. I have an Art Scroll weekly Parsha that we do, and we read the Parsha. At some point, the whole Parsha gets read. We do a little bit each day. It was just a hard week. I put it down. I didn't take out the Parsha book. That Friday night, my kids got it into their head that they were going to have a contest and to see who could read the most Parshas out of the Parsha book. So they were using Tell Me the Story of the Parsha, and including my 4-year-old, including my 2-year-old. So I was like, you know what? Instead of learning one Parsha, they're learning the whole Torah. So I was like, great. And that was without me encouraging. That was without any kind of structure. My 9-year-old, she loves writing and drawing. So she's writing a book. It's really cute. It's about a kitten. And I'm reading it, and I was noticing that the quotation marks were in the right spot. I don't ever remember teaching her about quotation marks. But somehow she picked it up, that when you speak, like when a character is speaking, the quotation marks go in a certain spot and there's a comma. And it's just fascinating to watch when I give them the time, I give them the day, and the lack of structure, and to see how they structure it themselves. Another thing that she loves doing, she loves to draw. Loves to draw. She could spend a better part of her day drawing. So she spent time making this poster for coronavirus, like different things to do to be safe from coronavirus. So we spent some time going on Redbubble, and we put some of her art on Redbubble. And it's been really fascinating and interesting to hear her ideas about business and art. Then my 6-year-old, I'm very inspired by my children, so I'm just going to continue talking about this. My 6-year-old loves to read, loves to read. So my husband noticed that, and he bought her these books. I brought them here to show you. These classic books. They're classic books, but they're rewritten for kids. So we have the Jungle Book, the Time Machine, Journey to the Center of the Earth, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. We bought 7 of them. And she has been drinking up these books. And I'm not telling her, like, this time you have to read. She just kind of comes to it on her own, and like, we'll ask her questions about it. Like, we'll ask her, who are the characters? And she understands. It's phenomenal to watch when I back away for the sake of me, so that I'm not overwhelmed, for the sake of me, and to watch what happens when I let go and trust the process of learning and homeschooling and how it all works. I'm so inspired. I'm so inspired to watch my children. Oh, and then my 6-year-old was telling my 4-year-old how to spell the word the. So there was one night I went into her room. She was sitting there with a book, and she was kind of talking to herself. So I said, "What are you reading?" And she says, "I'm trying to find all the thes on the page." I'm like, that is so cool. That is so phenomenal. I'm so inspired by this kind of philosophy, because it is working out for us when I'm not able to like really sit down and like tutor kind of thing, to just let go of everything. We literally have no plans. I have no times for anything. I mean, lunch time, we have a time to eat lunch. 5:30 is supper. Like, I have certain things like that, but as far as in between meal times and bedtime and things, even bedtime is kind of up in the air because I read a lot to them in the bed when they're in bed. But when I'm lacking the structure, lacking the organization, this has been so inspiring for me to watch. So I think I'm talking a little bit too much about unschooling without explaining what unschooling is. So I'll kind of backtrack a little bit and go into what is unschooling. Unschooling is a philosophy of education that says children are naturally curious. Children are natural learners. Children want to learn, and they're sponges. And what's getting in the way of their education and learning is probably a lot of outside information that is kind of forcing it on them. And if we take a step back and let them take the driver's seat and we kind of follow along, they will learn everything. They will sponge up so much and more. With unschooling, parents need to tune into their kids and tune into what their interests are and then kind of springboard from that, right? So my daughter was saying to me with the whole thing with the elections, she was watching me watch about the elections and things like that. So she said, I want to learn how the government works. So I was like, great. Great, right? No pressure on me to think of what to teach them, to find a curriculum, and and then to do it and to sit with them. No, she said straight up what she wanted to learn. And that was also, Baruch Hashem, that was also very inspiring for me. But so we got to the library and we got a ton of books about the government and the Constitution and how voting works and different things. So that is a little bit about how we've been schooling it. And as they say, schooling it. Am I cool? Okay, so we don't have a schedule. We don't have anything pressing. I do require Kriya and Chumash. That is so minimal. It's 3-4 times a week. If I'm lucky, I get it in 4 times a week. And it's minimal amount of time. 15 minutes max. With a new baby, it's so hard and it's so stressful to organize and structure a day the way I used to. My kids are creating their own time. They're like the organizers of their own time, and I've seen such blessings from it. But the hardest part was kind of trusting that is what we needed. We do one thing. I shouldn't say that there's a lack of structure. We do daven every morning. And at supper time, and this has been going on for years, at supper time we do the Sefer HaMitzvahs from Rambam. The Rambam has set out all 613 mitzvahs that are in the Torah, and it's set in a yearly cycle or maybe 11-month cycle. And so we do the daily mitzvah and we do the Hayom Yom. So we do have a little tiny bit of structure. But I mean, it is so minimal and it is not pressured. And that has been such a blessing. Okay, and look who woke up. He'll be joining us for the rest of the video. So snuggly. Okay, so I wanted to tell you one more thing about structure, is that about not having as much structure, is that because I took out the pressure and because I took out the structure and we have the whole day, I have been able to nurture my own interests as well. So I've been drawing more. I've been davening. I've been doing a Shmona Esrei. I can't say every single day, but most days I do Shmona Esrei. And I've been saying the daily Tehillim. I've been doing Chitas. Chitas is I'm learning the daily Parsha. The Torah is divided up into what's called a Parsha. And then in 1 year, you finish the whole Torah. You've read the whole Torah. Each Parsha is divided up into a daily section. And then by Shabbos, you've read the whole Parsha. So I've been reading the daily section of the Parsha of the week, which has been so nice. And I've been doing Tanya, learning Hasidus, more Hasidic philosophy, which has been so warming for me. And because I'm nurturing myself, it has just been such a blessing for our whole family. I guess that is everything I want to share with you about my structure at this time. I hope that you can gain something from this and learn something, make sure to check out Jar of Fireflies and Evan's Homeschool Adventure. I'll put links below to their channels. They're wonderful, special people, really wonderful here on YouTube. Gems on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.